these instructional strategies rather than the different methods that may or may not use these strategies to various degrees. Having the flexibility to decide when and with whom to use the best strategy or mix of strategies is critical. The notable 9, therefore, can be powerfully invoked by teachers who wish to make a difference. For too long, educators were obsessed with models of teaching, preferring one method over another, rather than with models of learning. This book reminds us that we need to go back to models of learning and use them to help students see similarities and differences, learn how to summarize and take notes, practice deliberately, use imagery to build a deeper conceptual understanding on which they can hang surface-level knowledge, learn from one another, solve problems, generate and test hypotheses, and give and receive feedback. Perhaps it is time to review our personal and cultural beliefs about teaching and see if the above strategies are well represented. If they are not, then why are they not? Let's pause and consider why such powerful strategies are not dominant in our instructional approach or in our thinking about how students learn. A highlight of this second edition is the inclusion of relevant studies conducted during the past 10 years. Thus updating the previous edition of the book in a powerful way. The world has not stood still. We learned a lot in the intervening decade, and the order in which the authors present the strategies has changed to better reflect the current educational climate and a comprehensive framework that is geared toward instructional planning. I encourage you to read on and see what classroom instruction the evidence indicates works best. John Hattie. Introduction. Instruction that makes a difference. The only way to improve outcomes is to improve instruction. Michael Barber and Mona Morshed, How the World's Best Performing School Systems Come Out on Top. Marisa and her friend Alex, 2 middle school students, are on their way to their second period classes. Alex complains that Mr. Somerville's class isn't very interesting and he doesn't learn much in it. Marisa. I'm looking forward to my class with Miss Hastings. She makes everyone feel like they can learn math. She always says hi to us when we come into class, and she expects us to get right down to work. She has a problem on the board for us to solve on our own, or we check in with our base group. Alex. What's a base group? Marisa. It's a group that stays together for a semester. We do some team-building activities and other fun stuff to get to know one another. That makes it easier to speak up in class. Alex. Mr. Somerville is usually busy at his desk when we come in, and we just talk until a few minutes after the bell. Then he asks us to be quiet, and he starts his lecture. Mostly we're just bored. Some kids even put their heads down on their desks. Marisa. We'd never do that in Miss Hastings' class. She'd think we were sick or something. She expects us to do our best every day, and she tells us lots of stories about people who worked hard and succeeded. She likes us to share stories like that about ourselves or other people we know. We even keep track of how much effort we're putting into our work and how much we're learning. Sometimes I get discouraged, but Miss Hastings always says something to help me see what I do know and what I can do to get better. Alex. I wish Mr. Somerville was more like Miss Hastings. Maybe then I'd care more about learning and get better grades. Compare Ms. Hastings and Mr. Somerville's approaches to teaching. Ms. Hastings has strong relationships with her students, high expectations for their performance, and an understanding of the kind of support students need to succeed in the classroom. Mr. Somerville seems disconnected from his students both in terms of personal relationships and in his use of strategies that will help them learn. Our goal as authors is to help teachers add to and polish the tools in their instructional toolkits so they can be more like Ms. Hastings and less like Mr. Somerville. To accomplish that goal, we present 9 categories of instructional strategies and relevant classroom practices that use them. These 9 categories include setting objectives and providing feedback, reinforcing effort and providing recognition, cooperative